If you play GTA Online mostly by yourself, you already know the biggest problem. A lot of the game's money-making activities are designed around having other players with you, but you don't actually need a crew to build a serious amount of money. There are several businesses that work extremely well for solo players, and the key isn't buying everything at once. It's knowing which businesses are worth your money, what order to get them in, and how to use them without wasting hours doing unnecessary work. So today, I'm breaking down the best solo businesses in GTA Online. We'll also look at what makes each one useful and the mistakes you should avoid if you're trying to build millions on your own. Drop a like if you found this video helpful, and consider subscribing if you're new. Now, let's start with the business I'd recommend to most players first. If you want an active business that you can repeatedly grind by yourself, the agency is one of the best choices. The biggest reason is the Dr. Dre VIP contract. Once you've completed all the investigations, the full contract gives you a very strong payout and you don't need another player to complete it. But the agency isn't just about Dr. Dre. You also have security contracts and payphone hits that you can use while you're waiting on longer activities. Security contracts give you another source of active income, while payphone hits can provide a quick payout when you complete the assassination bonus requirement. So instead of sitting around waiting for your main moneymaker to become available again, you can fill that downtime with smaller jobs. And there's another reason I really like the agency for solo players. It gives you useful quality of life features, including access to the agency SUV service for fast travel. If you're constantly moving around Los Santos, being able to skip some of that driving can save a ridiculous amount of time over an entire grinding session. So if you want an active business that actually gives you things to do, the agency is one of the first properties I'd consider. Now, if you're looking for something that doesn't require nearly as much effort, the Acid Lab is one of the easiest businesses to recommend. The great thing about it is the relatively low barrier to entry. You can unlock the Bricked 6x6 and gain access to the Acid Lab through the First Dose missions. The lab installation itself normally costs money, but the First Dose storyline and its rewards can help cover that investment. Then, there's the equipment upgrade. You unlock the opportunity to purchase it after completing 10 Fulligan jobs. And you definitely want that upgrade if you're planning to run the Acid Lab seriously. Once everything is set up, the Acid Lab becomes a fantastic solo business because you don't have to constantly babysit it. You can buy supplies remotely from Mutt, let the product manufacture while you're doing other activities, and come back when it's ready. There's also a small but useful trick here. Name your acid product through the interaction menu. Doing that gives the product a value increase, so there's really no reason not to do it. And because the Acid Lab is mobile, you can also request it while you're out in free roam instead of constantly driving back to the freak shop. For a newer player, this is one of the businesses I'd put very high on the list. The Nightclub is where a lot of new players get confused. They buy one, notice that the popularity income isn't making them rich, and assume the business isn't worth it. That's not really what makes the Nightclub powerful. The real money is in the warehouse. The Nightclub can connect several other businesses you own to its warehouse, allowing technicians to generate different types of goods in the background. And this is where the Nightclub becomes extremely useful. You don't have to sit inside the Nightclub manufacturing these products yourself. Your technicians handle the warehouse production while you go off and do other things. The important part is buying the right supporting businesses. Businesses such as the Bunker, Coke Lockup, and Cash Factory can contribute to the Nightclub warehouse. You don't necessarily need to actively grind every one of those businesses. That's the beauty of the Nightclub. You're using them as sources for your technicians, while the Nightclub handles the warehouse production separately. And don't forget the Nightclub safe. Keeping popularity high can give you regular, safe income. So checking in periodically can add another stream of money on top of the warehouse. The biggest mistake is buying a Nightclub too early with no supporting businesses. The Nightclub becomes much more valuable once you've already built a business network around it. The Hangar is a little different because it's more of an active grind. But if you don't mind doing cargo missions, it can be a very good solo business. The big thing you need to understand is that you shouldn't treat every cargo type equally. Certain cargo categories have better bonuses when you build up enough of the same type. So instead of randomly mixing everything you find, focus your sourcing around the cargo types that give you the strongest bonuses. And if you're trying to make the Hangar efficient, pay attention to the sourcing method you're using. Land-based sourcing is generally much more convenient for solo grinding, because you're avoiding a lot of unnecessary flying around. There's also a major advantage when it comes to selling. Certain land sale setups are much easier to handle alone, because you're not dealing with a complicated multi-vehicle delivery. If you're going to buy a hangar, Fort Zancudo is a particularly convenient location for many players. Because of its access to the military base and surrounding airspace, the hangar isn't something I'd tell a brand new player to buy before everything else. But once you've got your core businesses established, it's a strong option for an active solo grind. The bunker is also one of the best businesses for a player who wants money being generated while they're doing something else. The basic strategy is simple. Buy supplies. Let your staff turn those supplies into stock and sell the product. But if you're playing solo, don't make the mistake of filling the bunker completely, and then hoping the sale mission will be easy. A large stock level can produce more complicated deliveries, and some of those missions are horrible when you're by yourself. Instead, keep your stock at a level that's comfortable for solo sales. You might make less from each individual sale, but you're reducing the chance of getting stuck with a delivery that requires multiple vehicles or several trips across the map. And don't forget about the bunker's research. The bunker isn't only a business. Research unlocks special equipment and ammunition, including some very useful weapon upgrades. If you're primarily interested in making money, prioritize manufacturing. If you specifically want the research unlocks, you can decide whether buying supplies and using staff for research is worth the trade-off. Just don't accidentally sacrifice all of your manufacturing time because you're trying to unlock everything at once. So what should you actually buy first? This is where I think a lot of GTA Online players go wrong. They see a list of profitable businesses and assume they need to buy every single one immediately. If you're starting from a relatively low amount of money, I'd focus on building a progression. Start with the activities that help you generate your first serious amount of capital. Then move into the Acid Lab because it gives you a relatively inexpensive business that works extremely well for solo players. After that, the agency is a strong upgrade if you want a major active money-making activity. Once you have some capital behind you, start building toward the bunker and nightclub combination. The bunker gives you another passive income stream and unlocks research. The nightclub becomes more powerful as you add more supporting businesses. And once your foundation is established, you can add the hangar if you enjoy active cargo grinding. Here's probably the biggest piece of advice I'd give a solo player. Don't judge a business only by its maximum payout. A business that can technically make more money isn't necessarily better if it takes you twice as long to complete. Your goal should be profit per hour with as little wasted time as possible. That's why passive businesses are so useful. You can have your bunker and nightclub producing in the background while you're doing agency work, heists, missions, or whatever else you enjoy. Then you come back and sell the accumulated stock. You're not choosing one business. You're building a system where your businesses make money while you're busy making money somewhere else. If I had to simplify everything into one progression, I'd look at it like this. The exact order can change depending on how much money you already have and what content you enjoy. But the important thing is not to waste your first few million buying properties that don't actually help your current progression. Build your income first, then use that income to build the next business. Eventually, you'll have multiple businesses producing money at the same time. And that's when GTA Online starts feeling completely different. You stop asking, what's the fastest way to make money right now? And you start asking, what can I do while my other businesses are making money in the background? That's the point where your solo grind becomes much more efficient. And if you want more GTA Online guides that actually save you time and money, make sure you stick around because there's plenty more to cover.